Shitters.
You are in for
a wild surprise
for this week's episode of
Nerd Shit in
the Dark. Welcome back, shitters. We're glad to have you here. Now, we'll tell you what that was all about here in just a second. We have a really special guest on today that we're just both pretty excited about. It's got us in a bit of a tizzy.
Yeah.
We don't really know how to start.
Quite a kerfuffle,
but
honestly.
We're really excited about it. So what some people might not know is we dropped the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts earlier this year. April-ish, I think, is when I put it up.
Yeah.
But we've been doing this for a number of years. I know it's
been a pretty underground production
might
for
be
most
hard to
of it.
tell, even in this moment, that we've been doing it for years. And for many years, we had just one person that watched our show and just listened to
audience
all
member.
of it. So he is the OG shitter, the number one. His name is Swag.
It's his real name.
That's his real name.
It's his Christian name.
Christian name
My God-given name, Swag.
is Swag.
Okay.
Welcome to the show, Swag.
Great to be here, guys.
How do you feel right now in the hot seat?
Oh man, it's so new. You know, not new, but I listened to you guys talk and
Yeah.
really been entertained for years, and now I'm in it too.
I know.
Are you starstruck?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
What do I say?
You'll get there. Don't worry
man.
about it.
Yeah, just let it come
We'll help
naturally.
you as the professionals here.
Yeah.
Right.
I
The
mean, I'm kind of
experience.
worried. I'm just gonna watch you guys talk.
We're going to treat
Right.
you.
You're going to fall into your old habits.
Yeah, be like, oh,
yeah.
this is nice.
Yeah, you just
listening to us
he's
talk.
watching the episode live. No, you got to be a part of it.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, we're inviting you into our world.
So this is really exciting. We got somebody that just knows everything about us on, and I'm gonna ask him a few questions. You know, I'm gonna have our OG shitter kind of say a couple nice words about us.
Nice.
Yeah, those are the questions we're going to ask. It's all the things he likes about us.
But tell the viewers, tell the shitters, kind of your journey with us over the years with Nerd Shit in the Dark,
Oh,
how we
man.
started to where we are. Maybe a little backstory. We'll toot our own balls a little.
Yeah.
I mean, how long has it
Give him a
been?
twerk.
3 years.
3 years.
A little over 3 years.
2021 or 2020?
2020 we started.
2020.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, it was dog shit for a while.
Yeah.
Dog, do you think it was complete dog shit
No,
at
it
the
was
start?
just the quality of the audio and stuff. It was hard to you know, pick up
Right.
the full conversation.
But you stayed because you're like, these guys have heart.
Well, yeah, we hung out a while before that.
Yeah.
And
He's
then,
kind of our original editor too. Like he would give us notes.
Yeah, but then the audio, the quality beforehand, it was still great conversation. A little long, too.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah.
you know, you guys kind of got the ball rolling on how to,
We've learned how to
make more structured.
be more brief. Yeah.
Yeah. So the show is what it is today because of this man here, and he has consumed some nerd shit for
Just
us.
constantly criticizing
Just
the podcast.
constantly criticizing. He'd always show up and talk to us. He gave us hope that we were actually making something that people could listen to.
Yeah.
He was our inspiration to even do it
For sure.
for a few years there. So,
Because we're like, we can't disappoint him.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
He's
hard to
gonna-
pretend like you're recording something for somebody if you don't know. Like if somebody wasn't there.
Right.
Like if we knew we had no listeners.
We had a face to the name.
When we did our first episode, we were kind of laughing at addressing people because we knew nobody was listening.
Right. It was a little silly.
It
for
was
us
a
at the time.
little silly. We were just a couple of silly guys
Yeah, we were just doing silly things.
hanging
and
out
that-
together,
That's how Nerd Shit in the Dark started. It was just kind of a silly thing that we wanted to do.
and brought us all here to this
Yeah.
very moment where we have the OG shitter. Shitter's new too. Like you were just our number one fan for the longest time.
Yeah.
And so I want to thank you, Swag, for live on the show for being, the guy that kind of helped us get here.
I'm an honored guest
Yeah.
to be on the show.
So, this will be fun.
Sure will.
So with all that out of the way, we have a few plans for tonight's episode. We're really just shooting the shit. By the end, we're going to do a full breakdown of Attack on Titan, probably in general, but we watched the finale last night, and I'm sure we all have thoughts. Swag's a big fan. We turned him into a little bit of a weeb over the
Oh,
years.
yeah. I
weeaboo.
grinded.
Swag's a huge nerd.
I watched the entire season.
One of the biggest
2
nerds
weeks.
I know. So, yeah, we'll get there. But as always, let's start her off with some new nerd shit, and we'll jump from there. Brayden, I love that you start it sometimes. I want you to start new nerd shit. Unless you don't have anything. If you need a minute to think,
I'll need a minute to think for
you'll
this
need a
one.
minute to think.
It's been a while since I've consumed it. I would say my new nerd shit is a bit of old new nerd shit. It's just old stuff that I've gotten back into recently.
Old stuff that you've already talked about on the show, or just like...
Possibly, but I think it was a while ago.
Okay, well, remember, a lot of those aren't even on Spotify,
True.
so new to them.
Yeah.
So.
Do you remember me talking about Stellaris at all?
Stellaris, I think so. I think that was the Jared episode, actually.
Yeah, it's like another strategy game
Mm-hmm.
where it's like you take an alien race. You could be humans or you could be an alien race, and then like you have to like develop your society and like colonize the galaxy and like kill or make alliances with other alien like galactic entities.
Is this the same type of game that you did with like the human evolution?
No, that's a different game.
Oh, okay.
That's specifically about human evolution. This one is
Alien
like
level evolution.
you have an alien race and like you have to build up your alien empire pretty much.
Okay.
But I've been playing that a lot.
Okay.
And it consumes a lot of time. Like one full game run through, I'm still going through. I've been sinking hours into it. Like it takes a long time for one full game.
Like in like a Baldur's Gate sense, or just in like is it long like Baldur's Gate, or is it long like your average pretty long game?
It's along like a simulation game. Like,
Okay.
It's a strategy game. So like each new iteration, you start anew. Like you start small and you have to like get big and be the most powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like other events that happen along the way. Like at the end of every game, there's like an end game crisis
Mm-hmm.
where it's like a super powerful threat to the galaxy comes, and like it's randomized, so like the threat is different each run through. There's several different kinds.
Mm-hmm.
But like you have to like basically be strong enough to like withstand them at that point, and like it's really hard. Like it's one of those strategy games that can be really hard to get into at first, but once you kind of get the hang of it, it's very well organized. Like I think it's a lot easier to get into than games like Crusader Kings or stuff like that, because Crusader Kings took me a long time to learn all like the ins and outs of it.
Is Crusader Kings the one you always see like the ads for,
Like on TV?
like on or like on YouTube?
I
don't know.
You might be there. I mean, there's a lot of like games with similar titles
Fair enough.
like that, but Crusader
that's
Games
probably
is
why.
a strategy game where you
Yeah.
have to like
Raider, Shadow Legends, or whatever.
Yeah.
yeah, Crusader Kings is different. You have to like build a dynasty in that one.
Huh? Okay.
But no, Stellaris is it's a very fun game. There's a lot of different ways to play it. Like it's different. So like it's a different experience every time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of different play styles. Like you could be like an AI empire and have to like assimilate all other organic species in the galaxy, or you could start off as like the OG
This thing
humans.
sounds deep.
Yeah.
It always baffles my mind that like games like this exist.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, there's specific factions that are like assimilators that will like you can like take over
And this is just a part of the
populations.
game.
Yeah.
This is just like a subsection.
one small part
One
of the game.
small,
Yeah.
oh, wow.
It's like unlimited playthroughs.
Stellaris.
Yeah.
Might have to look into this.
What platform?
You could be a
Computer,
mega
I bet.
corporation and just like trade a bunch and start crime syndicates and stuff.
Just like start the Star Wars franchise.
You could be like marauding raider. There's like slaver races. You
Yeah.
can be like, slavers.
Yeah.
You can be peaceful and like pacifist and like
Boring. If
do
you're
all
not
your
killing
stuff
somebody
through
on a game, is
diplomacy.
it even a game? That's my number one rule about video games. Am I killing anything or anybody? No. Is it a game then? Is it really a video game?
well, in this
Gotta be
game
moided.
you can genocide
Good. God.
trillions of life forms.
Nice, dude.
Man.
You can get like planet-ending weapons and just annihilate species
Wow.
if you want.
How
if
much
you
is
want,
this game?
If you want to be a war, if you're into war crimes or whatever, I don't think it's that expensive. I think it's like $20 or $30 on Steam.
That's what I mean. That kind of content with a cheap price. Those-
Yeah, I
Man,
mean,
I can simulate
there's obviously
genocide.
like there's a lot of
Shoot,
DLCs
you love
with
those.
like
Your favorite thing.
Yeah.
there's a lot of DLCs with like extra races and factions and play styles and stuff that you can get that are more money, but the
Oh,
base
wow.
game I don't think is that expensive.
Might have to take a peek.
Yeah.
Swag is looking into playing a lot of video games nowadays.
Oh, yeah. I got time.
Yeah.
Up in his nerd shit.
Well, this is a
resume.
huge time sink. Like once you get invested in your empire, you will.
Is this like a multiplayer game too?
I think you can play it I think you can play it
So do
similar
we
to like
become
Civ.
the Axis powers?
We all make our own kind of empire and
Yeah. Or all Italy, Japan, and Germany?
Oh, that could be fun.
That could be fun. I'll have to
Cool.
look into that because I do
Yeah,
think
keep us posted.
I do think there is a multiplayer
Nothing
setting.
motivates me but like an Axis
Yeah,
power
you know.
between friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Blowing up
Yeah, we
planet.
could take over the galaxy together, or we could war against each other.
No, friends don't go
Oh.
to war against each other. Friends love each other, no
You know-
matter what.
Genocide in Galaxy is a different
Matter
kind of
what.
concept, though. You're just not erasing like an ethnic group. It's like a planet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I said, there's
You're
planet killer
eradicating
weapons. In my
lots
recent
of
run
ethnic
through, we
groups.
had like a neutron weapon that like you just like shoot a neutron beam onto the planet, and it just like erases all life.
Oh, keeps the planet.
It keeps the
Oh,
plant life will grow
What
back,
is
but
the
it just
point of this game? Like, what is the actual purpose?
Moida.
it's to create the most powerful empire, like take over the galaxy.
Oh,
and to like
You're
survive.
almost meant to kill everybody.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's just
to, like,
like Star Wars.
Like the end game crisis happens in every game like playthrough, so like you're basically preparing for that crisis at the end of the game because it's like really strong and will like fuck your shit up if you're not prepared.
Okay.
I will have to look into this then.
I mean, the environmentalist in me is like, oh, we saved the planet. Good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kill everyone else.
Like I said,
As long
you
as
can
the
also
planet
be
stands.
you can
Kill
also be peaceful,
organisms.
like be like taking
Peaceful.
a diplomatic.
You're not going to be the
approach
greatest
really
empire in
strong,
the
too.
universe if you're peaceful. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, you can like get
Mhm.
allies and stuff and like make stronger people fight for you.
Oh, slavery.
Well, if they just like
This
you.
game's got a lot of things that I like.
Oh yeah.
Slavery?
Not the slavery.
I was gonna say,
you
I
love
Not the slavery.
Are
That
you
came
on
out
record
wrong.
saying that?
Mhm. It's a whole different kind of episode. We got to talk me down. You got to talk me out of racism and slavery and why owning people is bad. My come to light moment where I'm like, I learned racism
Right,
is
yeah.
bad right here on the show.
It's your arc.
You change a person, it gets nominated. You're racist. Listen
This
to
is-
this
this is-
episode.
Been one whole art project
Yep.
to deprogram you from your racist ways.
From the very beginning.
Right.
Yeah, just
You
been-
and Swag have actually been planning this from the start.
This is
We've just been
we
Aaron
thought we were
Yeager.
planning this for Swag, but it was actually me and Swag planning this against
my
you to
intervention
finally
of my
nip
racism,
that
you know.
racism in the bud.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
Love it.
Happy to help. I guess we're done now.
Yeah. See you
We had a
guys.
good run. We were just getting guests, but I'm not racist anymore, so there's
Right,
no
so
show left.
Mission accomplished. We don't have to do this anymore.
All right, but moving on. No.
Chase, do you have new nerd shit?
Do I have new nerd shit?
Yeah.
Do I specifically have new nerd shit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or do
that's
you
what he's
wanna-
asking.
Do you want to tag team our new nerd shit?
Are we tag teaming a new nerd shit?
I mean, did you have any other new nerd shit that you wanted
No.
to talk about? That's your new nerd
I have
shit?
a more of a unique music nerd shit, but it's
Ooh.
not nerd shit.
Okay. Interesting. I am
Yeah.
interested in that. I do want to kind of touch on. We watched Project. No,
Gen.
Sorry.
Gen V.
Benji. Gen V.
Yeah.
Fuck. Benji.
Gen
we watched
5.
Benji. We watched Gen 5. Gen V. The Boys Spinoff show on Netflix
Oh,
this
yeah.
week, or on Amazon
I'm
Prime
excited
this
to
week.
hear how that is.
It's so when it started. So Swag called me the other day when we started watching it, and he asked how we did the whole how far are you? What do you think? And type of talk. And at first it was like I liked it. It was still a good show. I thought, but I had like some nitpicks with it. I was about 3 episodes in, I think. By the time Swag and I saw each other again, and I had watched 6 of the 8 episodes, I was like, I'm all in. 110%. This show's awesome. For a like spin-off show, it's really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like the first 4 episodes, like I didn't feel as engaged, but then we watched 5 and 6. We're like, okay,
Yeah.
now all right.
Like that's kind of where the twists.
How many
Yeah.
episodes?
There's only 8.
8.
And they're not
Okay.
super long. Like the first
Yeah.
couple episodes are like an hour, and then it like dips to like 40. The finale is only 39 minutes, and that's with, recap, credits.
Yeah.
So
Flies
yeah,
by.
really good. Like just
Yeah.
like you've watched all 3 seasons of The Boys. No, you've only.
No, I've never finished The Boys.
Oh fuck, you've never finished The Boys?
No, but I've been spoiled of.
We won't go
Big
too
things with
far
those
into
Adams, so.
spoilers per se with this one.
Yeah.
This is new nerd shit. How far have you watched The Boys? Second season. Just the first?
I think I've just seen the first season.
Oh wow, it's really good. And
I know.
what I want to say
I
about
think
that,
it's just very heavy
it is heavy, but
Yeah, it
for
doesn't
me.
change
Like
in
I
Gen
just,
V.
I
it
just don't know if
doesn't
I can
change.
deal with the
but it's
heaviness.
you
know,
can.
I'm sure I could.
You're a good man.
I've dealt with heavier shit before, but
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just a way with the boys' style that like it just makes me uneasy sometimes because I'm just like I know they're gonna like really try and top themselves and it's gonna be crazy and it's gonna be cool, but it's also gonna make me feel weird.
What I like most about this spin-off is like it doesn't miss any beats. It doesn't like maybe for like an episode is you're learning characters, but you're right back into like that world. You're right back into just like that quality of television show pretty quick. Where sometimes with a spin-off, it's like, it's not as good as the main show, but it was like, it kind of felt like an extension of season 3 of The Boys instead of its own show. Maybe not
Yeah.
an extension, but like a important piece to the puzzle.
How do the characters hold up?
The characters are all like you don't really give a shit about them at first at the beginning, like I didn't. They all kind of seemed like mostly like
So I feel like the
Punks.
characters are like a big part of the boys.
oh yeah, and
Right.
these ones definitely all win you over and have interesting little arcs throughout it, and you get
Yeah.
deep into the like their minds basically and who they are as people in a really cool superhero-y way.
Yeah, it's like I kind of you can't spoil it like the some of the things like
Mhm.
why it's called Gen V and and why what their
Right.
all their upbringings are.
Well, I think that all gets announced in season 1 of The Boys. Of why?
I think it's like on the search for it,
Okay.
or
Yeah.
that whatever.
Yeah.
But like it is fun, At first, again, it's not as engaging, but then some of these characters, you learn more and more about them. They're going through just rough shit.
Yeah.
And it just gets really fun.
And they're like, it's like a younger cast, which at first I wasn't sure if I'd like that, because they're all like, they're college kids, they're like 20-year old characters, but you really buy into them and care about them and give a shit what's gonna happen to them, and a lot of them really steal the show and with their acting all over it. We didn't really talk about this, but in the final episode, there's this girl in the show. Her ability is she can shrink, but she has to like puke to do it. And if she eats, she gets bigger. But she had this scene where she was in a fight with this, not like a fist fight, but like an argument. Man, when she got pissed off at him after he said all that shit about her, that actress fucking, I felt that. I was like, that is a mad woman. Yeah. So like,
oh no, I liked.
She's a great character. Yeah,
she was
she's
my
a
favorite
fun
character throughout the whole season. She just has like this spunk and like this acting style to her
and a
her
depth.
Character.
Every character you learn has like just this like one piece, but really dark backstories.
The other guy though, I thought he was
One
also
Piece
really
did
good.
have dark backstories.
Which guy?
Sam.
Oh, Sam, the guy that plays Sam.
I thought it was really good.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Everybody nails their characters. It builds upon the mysteries and the things going on in the Boys.
Yeah.
It just super good and easy to watch. 8 episodes and we cleared them both.
Yeah.
In a couple of days.
And I would
That's
say
impressive.
Yeah.
To watch an entire season of television.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we wanted to get it in for the show. I wanted to give Swag a chance to watch something to like kind of talk about on the show. So, and I had wanted to watch it. I heard it was really good. It just finished this week, so we were like, great time to watch all of it in one go. Because I would hate to wait. Like the way some of those episodes end, to have to wait a week to watch another one, it was like that would have killed me.
Does she shrink if she poops?
You would think she doesn't say she does. Because she really just pukes to do it.
But this last shrinking moment's questionable.
It
so.
is a question of why she shrinks in the last moment is like,
And that's the thing.
How did she do that?
They're kids. They're still learning a lot of this shit. I mean, like, they know their powers, but, like, this happened. And it's like,
they kind of have development with their, like, even the main girl, she, like, figures out her powers, like, a lot by the end.
Yeah.
I figured Gen
season.
V is supposed to be a play on Gen Z.
Maybe
it's
yes,
like
but
the next generation.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. So in the Boys, there's V. What's it called? Not
Compound V.
Compound V, which is what gives people their superpowers.
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay. So it's Gen V because it's just that. But yeah, Gen Z, Gen V.
And I was gonna say, I this spin-off of a series, I like this a lot just because it's going back into the Boys. That also, it doesn't really have to be another like season of Gen V.
Mm-hmm.
It could be also just included in the Boys, where like you have so many spin-offs or TV shows with Avengers, what's it called, Marvel, where you're not sure if they're ever gonna like loop back in for any reason.
Right.
They're just there just to be their storyline.
Yeah.
So I do like this, which is kind of just nice little.
And some shows they'll like The Walking Dead, where they'll just make seasons upon seasons of side stories, so that like you don't know if it's important to watch or if you should watch. This one, I feel like it's like you should watch it.
Yeah,
you should definitely watch it. So
especially like kind of the shit that's gonna unfold from it, yeah.
And it's got those same big like the first episode ends with a situation that it's almost as shocking as when A-Train runs through Huey's girlfriend in the like it's just a moment that makes you go, oh, fuck, did not see that one coming.
Well, even the beginning of this first episode of this season had the same.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
It kicks you, so like...
You're right back into
the Boys
so
like 10 minutes into the first episode. You're like,
you'd say it manages to be on par with that moment.
Yes.
So I feel like that's the moment that like immediately sells everyone.
Yeah.
And also like...
I'd agree.
Causes such a visceral reaction in the audience.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like such a normal scene and you're like, oh, they're in love. And then like you just like...
Because we watched
come to the realization of like this suddenly new reality that this guy
Yeah.
Oh.
When it happened, I remember because we were at where were we at? We watched it together the first.
We watched
episode.
it with Brendan, was it?
It was at Brendan's house, yes. And I just remember when that moment happened, my jaw literally dropped. Like I could not. That doesn't actually happen to me with TV a whole lot. Sometimes,
right,
but not a whole
it's
lot.
Perfect. I love showing that 10 minutes to people. Like, hey, if you like it. If you like this first 10 minutes, you'll be into it. But if you don't, like, you're not going to like anything else.
And it only gets better. I mean, season 3 of The Boys is exceptional television.
Yeah.
And then this was like a great little something to give us to eat while we're waiting for the next season.
Right.
So, totally.
How many seasons is it going to go?
I had heard that the 4th was supposed to be the last. And the way things are playing out in the 3rd,
I can see it.
You'd think the 4th would be last. But I had heard talks that they might be going into a 5th. And I hope that's where they land. I think shows should tell their story and get out. Don't drag it on. And The Boys is one of those shows that feels like it has an ending to reach.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
Like you can't stretch out Homelander being as scary as he is right now for years and make it believable.
The villain arc is fun.
In Gen V
all of it.
In all of it. Yes. Yeah, I'd agree. But the one in Gen V is pretty good too.
Yeah.
You don't know where it's going.
You do not expect that at all.
Not at all. So, you want a fun watch? Totally recommend
What's
The
it on?
Boys. It's on Amazon Prime Video.
Okay.
And if you've watched The Boys up to this point, watch Gen V because easy binge and
You kind of need to.
it seems like you need to. It
Yeah.
seems like you need to. It's a regular Book of Boba Fett for the Mando type of situation.
Right.
But watch.
If you don't watch the one,
Well, watch.
you won't know
Nobody
what's
will
going
bitch
on in
about
the
it.
other.
Nobody will be like, "Oh, I had to watch Gen V to know what was going on in the Boys season 4." Sorry, I get mad at Star Wars fans and other things sometimes.
Here we go. Chase is mad.
It's okay. I'm not mad. I don't have problems. You have problems.
Here's the Star Wars rants.
So yeah, that's what we got on Gen V. Do you have any other points you want to make on that experience that we had together?
No.
The puppets were fun.
Puppets are fun.
This one guy sees the world in like puppets from time to time,
Oh, that's fun.
and that makes for a very interesting couple of scenes.
Since you said that Seth Rogen writes it,
Yeah.
like there's a writer on it, it's like this makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Like there's just kind of wild, almost mentally ill things. You're like, why is this happening? It's like Seth Rogen writing it.
Yeah, he does a really good job with that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and spoiler: every teenager in college smokes weed because
Every
Seth
single
Rogen.
one of them.
They're also
Everybody's just casually smoking weed.
yeah.
Nobody's ever super high unless they have to be for a moment.
Yeah.
But
They're all smoking weed all
half
the
of them
time.
they're just ripping them and just like chilling.
Going about their day.
Nobody's baked as fuck, but unless they have to be. But yeah, totally good. I'm glad we watched it. I'm glad see. That's what I like about
I'm
the
glad
podcast.
I'm hearing
when
about it.
when I can set up homework to watch things like I really want to watch this show and I want to record for it, so I'll make time to watch it.
The podcast has been my homework for years. You guys would just
Me too.
recommend things, and I'm like, all right, I'll look into this.
And that's what the podcast is all about.
That is what it's all
Wow.
about. That is what it's all
was-
about
Groomed.
in a way.
We were
We're just
groomed.
giving you our
nerd shit.
thoughts, and if you try something and have a good time with it,
Yeah.
you're welcome.
I mean, I think this is where I first heard about Hades.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh yeah, go play. I'm like, all right, it's good.
And I beat Hades.
You did beat Hades.
And I was like, all right,
I
never
did
mind. Can't beat it.
not. Well, that kind of time.
I
on my
need
hands.
Braden's help.
Yeah, that's that for that. You were saying something about music, something new music nerdy that you wanted to get into?
Yeah, so I will say my biggest anxiety of the podcast was what would I bring to the table in new nerd shit.
Mm-hmm. It is our scariest.
because my nerd shit is usually just your guys already nerd shit. Then my new nerd shit's like just taking that and like going.
It's a
doing
high
it.
performance
Yeah.
area.
Yeah, which I don't have any.
It's all
new
you.
nerd shit, but I have a more of an interesting musical nerd shit where some audience members might like the musicals.
We're
side
all
of
about
things.
stretching all corners of nerdism.
Even
Yeah.
sport.
Not sports.
No, not
Not
sports.
sports, okay.
Sports
We'll keep it-
specifically
That's
are
where we
not
have to
nerdy.
draw a line.
All right, I'll keep it in music. So I just found out that there's a small concert venue, like around the corner from my house. If you remember when we got Xena, we had lunch at American Bar and Grill
Mm-hmm.
outside there and like under the tent.
I like
around,
that.
Around the corner from there, so it's a quick walk from my house, but around the corner it's a little small concert venue. $10 to see like a few bands play or whoever is just doing a small tour, just trying to like get on their feet with music. $10, $20 for a show.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. The mindset I struggled with for a while, which like the quality music is just not what you want with music.
Right.
We're always listening to like high quality shit on Spotify or whatever. It's just good music.
Kind of like Nerd Shit on the Dark.
Nerd Shit on the Dark,
Spotify.
exactly. It's on
Yeah.
Spotify.
Oh,
Yeah.
But it's really cool to have a venue like that where you can just see somebody just who loves to sing and play and just doing their best just to get out there.
Yeah.
There was this jazz duo I saw on Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
And it was their start of their tour. Did I think they're going to go far in music? Probably not. But it was cool that they were just gigging.
They're having fun.
They're just people hanging
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
One's a great drummer. One's like a pretty good trumpet player.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're just jamming.
Yeah. And you would never get to see someone like that normally in the mainstream.
Right.
So it's like a cool experience in that aspect.
It's just kind of like it's supporting those like small arts things where like you don't know. Like I always kind of see like people going to like a small like theater show. Like where do these things happen? Who actually goes to these shows?
Mm-hmm.
people like friends and family go to support them.
Right. But no, there are people that
Yeah. And
just want to watch.
And just like, yeah, there's like,
And you're one of those people for music.
right. And it's
Yeah.
like $10 just to go hear live music, have a little
Great deal.
edible and like a nice brew on the way and just
Yeah.
kind of chill there for a
Live
bit.
music is live music.
Right. And it's a nice chill
Never
time.
mad about it.
No.
No,
Right. So, yeah,
unless it's bad.
that was a unique thing for me because I was thinking like, man, I know so many better musicians, but like my friends who went to IUP were like band teachers aren't playing, they're not playing music like this.
hmm
These people are,
They're doing it.
they're out there
They're out here
grinding,
slumming it.
but
Yeah.
also love the shit they're doing because, there's so much better paying jobs, let's be real, but like they're grinding.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
No, that is fun. It reminds me of when I went to visit Brent. One of the first times when where is Ohio? Is it in Athens or Akron? I can't remember.
It's in Athens, Ohio.
Athens. So I went out on the town in Athens, Ohio with him one night, and there was just this very artsy area, but like just on the streets were like people playing live music and like gathering little crowds around them, and it was all over the place. It was different kinds of music throughout the city, and I was just like, it was like November, kind of cold, but people were just out and about, and it felt so alive. And hearing just like, because they're also kind of grinding, they're all also like grad students just trying to like do their
Do
craft,
their thing,
do their thing that they could write an anime series about.
Right.
Yeah,
So everyone has a thing that they could write.
you can turn
series about.
anything into an anime. You can, any concept.
feel like
You
at this
slap
point,
the anime
though,
tropes onto it.
And, we could do it with music in a heartbeat.
I feel like
Yep.
everything's been written for anime though.
That's the thing
It's
about
just
anime.
we're so far deep, right? Like
Yeah.
anime's got to be every little niche scenario possible.
Dude, something as simple as a card game. Look at Yu-Gi-Oh! It's all over the place. That's
There's
just
an
a
anime
card
about-
game,
about cooking, like a shonen anime,
right? And it's like one of the best ones,
right? People love it.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
What is it?
Food Wars.
Food Wars, yeah,
That's really.
and it's
Yeah.
fucking weird, but it's out there. And like anything, like I think of like Fire Force. It's a series about they're
Firemen.
firefighters, but
Yeah.
they're anme firefighters, so it's fucking nuts.
Right, they fight demons.
They fight
and
fire
shit.
demons, and there's a whole conspiracy underground theory going on. Like,
Yeah.
it gets even crazier by the end of it. Let me tell you that. Holy fuck! But yeah. So like, I don't know, a performing artist on the street anime series.
Fighting demons
We could
constantly.
put
make
it
it.
out there. We could put it out there. But I mean, to
I'm
bring
writing
it back
right now.
though, live music is fucking awesome, and I
Mhm.
like going to. It's almost more fun to partake in these very like underground type of things than it is to go to a
Right.
real.
Like
Yeah,
how Nerd Shit in the Dark was before we hit it big.
Mhm. Yeah.
It felt very different than like a bar, going there to like listen to like live music and drink, where you're not
Yeah.
like caring about the live music. Like you had a purpose to come here,
Mhm.
and the atmosphere is just so chill. Where it's like, bring some beers if you want,
Yeah.
bring whatever you want, come hang out.
Yeah, dude. I remember when we started Nerd Shit in the Dark, Braden would like we'd go to the job I had before. We'd go like after hours just to that building, and we'd go in like a storage closet, and that's where we would record the original episodes of Nerd Shit in the
Right.
Dark. Yeah,
Yeah. Very underground.
very underground.
Yeah,
So, thanks for letting us relive that.
Right.
The glory days.
Back in our crime days.
Yeah. Back when we were
We had to-
grinding. Back when we were slumming it.
Yeah. We had to commit crime to make this podcast.
Yeah. It was originally called Crime Shit in the Dark.
Right.
Just crime shit in the closet.
It's just us giving detailed recordings of all of our crimes.
sounds like Brent.
Yeah, now we're out of the closet. Strictly in the dark. That's cool.
That's
Yeah.
my new nerd shit.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I think that's fun because we're also trying to kind of get guests on to talk about things kind of more nerdy in different fields. That's why
Right,
we're gonna
'cause
have
they
Amber
have-
on eventually.
Different
Amber,
perspectives
good
than
one to
us.
have on.
She's gonna talk music and theater and her new theater company. That'll be probably
Oh yeah, congratulations, Amber, on your new theater
Congratulations to my old roommate Amber.
Congratulations.
She's turned her whole life around and has started a theater business with some friends, and she's gonna be on the show here in the next month or so. You talk about that.
That's awesome.
We'll get there when we get a little preview. But yeah, we're trying to branch out
Mhm.
to different nerd things. And music, we never really get into that.
Untapped market. Yeah.
Untapped market for us. So love having guests.
We're going to tap that market.
We're gonna tap that
Nice.
market so fucking
Gonna
good.
tap it hard.
Oh my
Hit it.
god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So
Get
my
it
God.
pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You,
Do
you
that.
know what that's about.
I do know what that's about.
There's a lot of puking involved. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Miranda's so pregnant, Swag's dog threw up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Well, with that out of the way, I would say we could probably just get into Attack on Titan.
Let's get into it. Let's get down and
Oh, yeah.
dirty.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot to talk about this week. I just wanted to do this.
The only other thing was Loki, but we even watched the newest one yet.
You didn't watch the newest one yet.
Yeah, right.
I
Yeah.
have seen the newest.
I have not seen.
So I guess we'll save Loki. I did want to have a full Marvel kind of breakdown. Let's talk Attack on Titan, and if we have some wiggle room, because we're only 34 minutes in, I wanted to do maybe like a discussion on the state of Marvel a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah, but
I'm down.
we'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay. So before that, Attack on Titan. It ended last night.
Yeah.
The anime. The manga's been done for a few years, but the anime aired its final episode.
And it sucked.
It's absolute trash.
It was garbage.
Oh my
Don't
god.
watch it.
Oh my god. One of the why?
Why even make it?
It's just keep telling us it was. We
Right.
promise the episode's coming, and just never show it.
Season 8 Game of Thrones all over again.
All over
Should have
again.
been, yeah.
All right.
I wanted to fucking kill myself when I was watching.
All right. So now that we just gave all the people on Reddit an erection, we can take it back by saying that we actually really liked it.
We did.
And
It
we
was
were
pretty
just
good.
making a sarcastic joke there. Yeah, we really
Got 'em.
Got him.
Got him.
We really enjoyed the final stretch of episode, hour and a half long special.
Yeah.
Kind of brought everything full circle, but I just want to get in.
Watched it twice.
Yeah, me and Swag watched it twice. Braden.
I was kidnapped last night, so I was not able to
Yeah.
watch it the first time.
Yeah, it kind of sucked.
But I managed to escape from my captor.
Braden consented to
He got
the
kidnapped, and we didn't want to wait to watch it.
Right.
So we were
you're
like,
and you're like, is it okay if we watch it without? We know you're being kidnapped right now. Is it
We know
okay if
you're in
watch this
trouble,
right
but
now?
we
And I was
really
like,
wanna
yeah,
watch this.
whatever, man.
yeah. And thank God we did, because you didn't come back for fucking ever.
A long time.
So- But like, you took you a while to get away
That
from
was
being
my the
kidnapper.
whole night. I did
Yeah.
not realize, but
At least you got away.
I did.
But
At
you like
the
read
end-
the manga, right?
What's that?
You read the manga?
No,
Oh, you didn't? Oh,
No.
I thought like, oh, he read it, so he doesn't need to see it, right now.
no, but I've
He's looked into it.
Yeah.
I've looked into it. Yeah,
He's cheated.
I know
He
what's
spoiled
going on.
himself.
He did, but he didn't, because throughout the episode he kept asking questions. So he knew some things, he didn't know
A
everything.
lot of questions.
Yeah.
I knew like the basic ending, how it
Right.
went, but I
Yeah.
didn't know like the auxiliary details, which were nice to see.
So overall, the show Attack on Titan overall that led to this finale, I mean, how do you think the finale really played off of everything that the show up till now had led you to feel? Like, did it give you a satisfying finish to a show that you've been loving? Swag, this is mainly a question for you.
Now, are we in like a point in the podcast where we're providing spoilers, or are we kind of talking vague and then spoilers
I
later?
think with Attack on Titan,
We're talking about the last episode, so
we might as well we're going to spoil it. So with spoilers of the whole series, if need be, go
so
for
no
it.
holds barred.
But-
Don't hold back.
Mhm.
with the last episode, I mean, I really, just to make Aaron not look like your evil dog shit. Like, there was purpose in there.
Mhm.
Besides just being an angry maniac, which I think over the series, you just watch this, and it's almost like an Anakin thing where you just like watch this guy kind of go crazy,
Mhm.
which is madness. But like, there's so much underlining stuff that you just find out in the last episode.
You
You're
can
like,
kind of drop, like,
oh.
yeah. There's little seeds, like,
Like you're
Maybe-
always kind of hoping for some more context.
yeah.
That he, like, you didn't want to believe that he was just fully a dick now.
Mhm.
What he found that if he realized everything after he was already in Marley for the stage thing, the theatrical show.
Yo, yeah.
And then he kind of just,
Wasn't it during the medal ceremony when he like first got like the visions of the past and the future?
when his story
Right, it was
touched him.
it was the medal ceremony
After they
with
retook
Historia.
Walmaria.
That's why his
Yeah.
reaction was in that scene. I've always wondered, what did he see when his story had touched him?
Yeah, like that's
He
when
saw
like he
everything.
that was when he
Saw
changed.
all of it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
So like
see,
everything you see Aaron doing throughout the series from that point forward, he's this changed character because he's like, well, I have to do all this crazy fucked up shit.
yeah.
Because if I don't, this isn't gonna end.
right. There's no way I can't do this.
Yeah, so he's just depressed. Like you got to go back and watch some like the scene with Reiner when Reiner and him talking like that place under the stage
Yeah,
in Marley.
I love that.
That's a whole new conversation under this light of what Aaron is now.
yeah.
Yeah, everything kind of becomes. You got to just rewatch the whole last season
It's
to
such a
take
good
it on.
season. I
Yeah.
did that like not too long
That's
ago. and
fair.
I was
Yeah.
like,
But now
I
with this new
love-
perspective that you have
yeah.
on Aaron.
Well, just thinking back to when his story touched him, I'm like, wow, I would love to go back and watch that point on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, see every little interaction, every little conversation he has.
Yeah.
It's God, so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just so enjoyable because you're getting, the show gives you questions, but then there's answers, but they have more questions. The finale really is just like didn't really even answer questions I had. They just said like, oh, it just kind of makes things more conclude in a better fashion
Okay.
than I was expecting.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to die, and that was it,
Yeah.
And you're not left with like happy feelings after like it's not like a feel good finale,
Right.
but it is like
It was a little hopeful.
yeah, you feel it feels complete. Like
Yeah.
you
Right,
don't-
yes.
it's not it's not really like a cynical finale,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
though like it is very dark
Mhm.
how things play out.
Yeah. The world doesn't come out of it fixed.
Yeah, but it kind of
But the characters themselves have had a full story to be
Yeah.
told in this world.
and it
Yeah.
kind of like wraps up and drives the theme home really well, just like what the series is trying to say about the nature of humanity and
Yeah.
warfare and
Mhm.
endless cycles of violence and stuff. Like
Yeah, I like Zeke's whole comment on multiplying.
Right.
Like our whole purpose that we're just multiplying.
But then the
That's all we're-
solution to that Armin provides is
Yeah.
such a cool.
Yeah, that fucking great.
That's the thing about Attack on Titan. It's solid in a lot of different ways. Like, it's peak just anime, like fighting. It's got great
The Guard
battles. The battles
yeah,
are big.
it looks awesome.
The message is, real and
Relevant.
relevant. Yeah. And the deep moments with characters is just so like, in a way that sometimes anime will try to go deep and like you just go along with it because it's anime. This felt like you could believe it. Like
Right.
this would really change a person.
For sure.
Like when Zeke sees the baseball to Armin's answer, like you now believe that Zeke will do what he does at that point.
Yeah.
He's snapped out of it.
Everyone's motivations are aligned well.
Yes. Yeah.
No one feels shoehorned in
Mhm.
or like weird of like why they're there. Like it didn't feel unnatural to bring like Reiner and Annie and Peek and all of them back, even though like these were former enemies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it felt natural that they're all working together there at the end.
What character arcs they've had.
How about it? Yeah.
But they were children when they got to Paradis.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking about that. You're like,
And you
oh,
learn that
wow.
so late in the game.
Yeah. They've just been there trying to figure it out and how to establish themselves and the scouts and whatnot.
Yeah. Attack on Titan overall is just a great show because one thing I didn't touch on when I was giving those points, its mystery level is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
And it's like one of those few big mysteries that like the answer is very satisfying. And it's because like most mysteries,
I don't
like
think you could
once
come up with any of the answers on your own.
right.
Yeah.
Because most mysteries, like once you find out the solution to the mystery, it kind of loses that like
Yeah.
wow factor, and like you can go back and rewatch it, but it's not the same because you know what's gonna happen. But I still feel like with this mystery reveal, like it's so good
Mm-hmm.
that like it just makes you look back in awe
Mm-hmm.
of like all the clues and stuff.
With
set up.
everything, every time a new thing is revealed about it, it's like another thing is like to go back to. Another thing has been added to go check out again.
Yeah, like when you said Aaron had like a cut during boot camp and had like a little piece of steam.
Oh, right. You
yeah,
can see
yeah,
the
you're like,
steam in
"Aha,
his
that's
head.
fun."
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
already had the Titan. Yeah, little things like that. Because I just think, like, for the longest time, the show is like, what is the deal with these Titans? Why are there Titans? To the point, like, it goes a long time. Like, you learn that Baratal and Reiner are the Colossal and Armored Titan, but you don't really get what their point is. Like, how
Right.
does that? What's
You
going
just
on?
have
Then
more
tie in with all.
questions.
You
Yeah.
just
Like-
continue to have more questions.
Yeah.
To the point where we finally learn. It's like I almost say halfway. It's 3 seasons in. You find out, why we have Titans. So you get that answer, but then a whole nother world of questions has just been like you finally get everything you thought you wanted, and then he's just added new mystery, and then it does the time skip, and there's all this new mystery, and then Aaron's acting crazy, and you're just like, what has gotten him? Like, what led him to be this way? What is the twist here? And they hold off on that till literally the last episode,
Yeah.
to the point where you do have everything answered by the end, but it takes till literally the end.
Yeah, keeps you watching, and then like you don't go back and be like, oh, this isn't as impact like it just like the reveal of the mystery just enhances the previous moments before then,
Yeah.
which sometimes it can dampen previous moments once the mystery's revealed.
Sure, but not with Attack on Titan.
No,
Yeah.
they managed it well. It was great to look at. The action scenes were amazing.
Yeah.
When
And, like-
fucking Reiner first transforms,
Mhm.
like it's so cool.
And he
Like,
tackles the
Oh,
like
yeah.
Beast Titan looking
Yeah.
thing.
I feel like the
Hell yeah.
transformations got better over the
Oh, yeah.
seasons. Because then you're just watching like their skeleton and
Oh, yeah,
just
when
go
they-
in on something.
Yeah, when they changed studios to Mappa. They really started, because they did it in the other seasons, like show them form, but not the way they did in season 4, especially in that finale. Yeah. I think I said it while we were watching the episode. I will always love to see the electricity from the transformation scenes.
Yeah.
No matter when they are. I think they're cool in a lot of ways. Like when you see that, for a lot of the show, whenever you see that stuff, it's a big moment. It's a holy fuck. So even later when it's happening all the time, it's still just like, it made me feel like holy fuck every time I saw it then. That even now I'm like, like I get jazzed.
They managed to never lose
right?
their impact every time they transform.
Yeah.
Because, like, they very easily could with overusing it, but even with the amount of times they were doing it at the end, it was still epic every time they transformed.
There's that level of excitement there.
Yeah.
There's still that level of excitement. Like, even, like, you know, the entire time I'm just like, when's Armin going to transform?
Yeah.
Like, when's the Colossal Titan coming out? Because, like, you know, he can only do it once, so, like, that's something you're anticipating the entire time.
Yeah.
Well, and before it was like when you saw them transform, like while they're in the walls, you're like, oh shit, something's going down.
Yeah.
And now it's like, all right, who's coming out? Who's jumping on this train? You know, on this skeleton, I should say.
Yeah.
Big Titan train going off the cliff. Yeah. I had told these guys for a long time that the last episode was going to be a Titan Palooza. And I hope that really
sure was.
I
Delivered.
Delivered. Okay, good. Like, I kick myself a lot for being a manga reader just because, like, I truly believe whenever somebody wants to start this, I'm always like, just watch the anime. Like, the manga, it might be the script for this, and it is fine. But the anime is what makes this show what it is.
Yeah.
And,
I consider this, like, because I did try reading the manga at one point, but couldn't get through it. But yeah, I consider, like, this and My Hero Academia to be, like, the two series for, like, I just vastly prefer the anime.
Sure.
Because I normally prefer the manga. For a series like One Piece, I definitely prefer the manga.
Yeah.
With those two, I'm just like, moments in the anime are so much more impactful than they were in the manga. Where, like, if I thought it was like a pretty mid chapter, like, it could be a really great anime episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, for the most part, I think that's what Attack on Titan did. I mean, when I watched the Titan Palooza, when I read it originally, I was like, this is going to be nuts animated. So, like, he drew that fine too, but actually seeing it, like, they're just on Aaron's back that whole time. But you feel like you're in a fucking war zone.
The scale of it is crazy.
Well, you just all the way down the skeleton body is Titans, and then you fall underneath to the ribcage, and there's just more Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're everywhere, and it's just fucking crazy. And
I love seeing all the Generation Titans, too. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a
cool.
neat
Fun
little
twist.
lore thing where it's just like, you know, there's never going to be explained upon again, but you know exactly who is what.
Once they tell you what
point.
it is, you're just like, let's go. Let's watch these guys just fucking fight. Yeah, I was very satisfied with the way the final stuff got done and the final twists got taken care of, and the music, man. Attack on Titan is it's like a 9.5. It's like a 9, and then the music itself boosts it to a 10 of the type of series. Because, like, fuck, does that help too? That's why the anime is better than the manga. There's no music. Whenever people are zipping around in the manga, like on their ODM gear?
ODM, yeah.
It's just, you know, you can't draw
sound.
You can't draw what those animation scenes look like. Levi's zipping, like, you can, but the way they animate those, like, anytime stuff that Reiner's doing is just as awesome to watch as stuff that John's doing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all the sound design,
yeah,
the music, like, I don't know, the ODM gear sound is iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's
just iconic. Just like the lightning from the transformation sound, you just know it.
Just enhances everything.
I think there's a point where somebody transforms in the show where, like, you just hear the noise and you're like, you feel the impact from it. You didn't even see it.
Yeah, great audio. And, like, the melody of, like, the hero music, they had that when John was going after the nape to blow it up. Like the light, you're like, oh, yes, some heroic stuff down.
Yeah, this is time to get hype.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Certainly one of the greats. That's what I mean. When the manga came out and people didn't like the ending, I was just like, I don't know. I mean, what else did you want? Like, what else did you want to happen?
Seems like it concluded things pretty
succinctly. So I'm glad to see that people
so
do like it. Like, now the anime's come out, and mostly what I'm seeing is positive, because I felt very strange that I didn't hate it. Like, people were comparing it to Game of Thrones, and I was like, do you remember what Game of Thrones did? It's like a dumb friend that just keeps going into bad relationships. Do you remember what that bitch did? Like, what do you mean they're as bad as that crazy bitch? Game of Thrones fucked me up. Attack on Titan, I was just like, wow, an anime without like a cliche anime ending.
Yeah.
Dope.
Actually had something to say at the end.
Yeah. So
Yeah, like if Eren lived and they continued on a whole little life with Mikasa, I'd be like,
Yeah. you can't
Yeah,
buy that.
yeah, like the dude just genocide, like the planet.
20% of the population of the planet is left.
Like, it's got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to go. And he knew he had to go.
Yeah,
He
knew
only
he
did it
wasn't
because he
making
knew he had to
Yeah.
go make his friends' lives better. It's a good guy.
Yeah,
He was a great,
For somebody that killed 80% of the population,
pretty good guy.
solid dude.
Probably a
solid bro. Solid friend.
dude would be
Solid,
great,
great friend.
Great
podcaster.
friend.
Fucking probably
Great
Would
friend.
you kill
fantastic
80% of the
podcaster.
population to make my life longer?
I don't think I would. I don't think I would. I don't know. But
So
I'm
you're
also
not as good of a
I'm
bro
not
as
somebody
Aaron.
that lives under the conditions that the people on the Attack on Titan world live
That's
under.
true. We live
Yeah.
a pretty
Those are
comfy
some
life
conditions.
compared to them.
Yeah, oh, dude.
Look at me. Out of the closet, storage closet, where we
Right.
used to record.
Yeah.
Not
And
racist.
No, not racist. You guys fixed me on that here on the show. I mean, yeah, I don't remember what I was trying to say there. Sidetracked me
You
with
wouldn't
that.
kill him to save, or
yeah.
to kill out the planet to save him.
I'd probably not, dude. Sorry. That's a lot.
Just means you're not as good of a
I
friend
would
as
save
Aaron.
you for probably a percentage of the population, but 80? 80 is a
2%?
big number.
Would you kill 2%?
Maybe.
Oh wow, that's still a good.
You kill
friend.
millions of people.
Yeah,
to
that's
save me.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's 2% of the world's population. That's a
8
lot of
billion
people.
people. 2%.
Hey, hey, you're my friend.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. But 80, dude. Think of how crazy you guys think 2% is. 80? No, I don't like it that much.
Damn.
So, no. But Aaron, what a G.
Yeah.
What a G.
What a
He
G.
loved them.
Well, I
Wanted
loved his
Armin
friends.
and because I've survived and lived
So
long
yeah,
lives.
sweet but sad type of ending for a show that was just the whole way through that. I mean, it's like the boys of anime in a way. I
Yeah.
mean,
Less
but
nudity.
So what?
is there though? If the Titans had dong, I mean, that's
Yeah, there's definitely
there's a lot of nudity.
So what do you make of the ending? Like the ending after the ending?
I think he's just trying to say that no matter what you
Or
do,
you could say
the
it's
cycle.
the new beginning.
Well, yeah, I think the ending. I don't know. I'd like to believe that it's not saying the Titans are coming back, but clearly it is. But I think it's trying to say war and things like war and all inevitable.
War.
No matter what you do,
As
it's
Fallout
just a
3
cycle.
I agree.
Says
Yeah.
Yeah.
war never changes.
It's like he's trying to teach us that you can make it better, but also be wary that people are people, and even if you learn a lesson, peace might last for a time,
right.
but not forever.
Because we're never told how many years are passing. You just
It
have to
seems to be
imply that
loads.
it's like
Mikasa's
it's a
whole
lot.
lifetime takes place, and that's before they start building the city.
Sukasa.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's
Mikasa.
definitely hundreds, if not thousands, of years that you see pass.
Sure. Actually, I'd go as far to say if the original series was 2,000 years from Ymir,
Yeah.
I would say you're probably seeing another 2,000 years.
Probably.
Oh,
if I were
wow.
a betting
Because it's enough
man.
time from the
A whole
Earth to go from
forest grows.
20% of its original population back to fully developed,
to nuked.
Yeah.
skyscrapers to nuking. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that brings a question to my mind. Where that tree was it in the original town?
So the tree that you see at the end that grows with Aaron, that is a different tree than the original tree that Ymir has.
Yeah.
The only reason
Right.
that tree starts to become that way is because Aaron's head is
So, but where
buried
is
there.
Right.
that
It's
tree?
starting to take on the looks of the original tree.
Right, yeah.
Because of the.
Where is that?
That tree is in Shiganshina.
Right.
Is it?
Yeah. It was like
that
a
was
hill
like
that-
his. That's where he's sleeping in the first episode
Okay.
when Mikasa wakes him up.
So my thought is we saw Shigashina get blown up.
Yeah.
So my only thought is I would think parody is the dominant force now with an equal population
With the
between
way
parody.
it's showing it, but then
They have Marley
get
dead.
fucked.
Yeah.
Yes, but then there's still an uprising where
Yeah.
the people are still pretty pissed at them.
No
Yeah.
matter what, these things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like how they leave it so open-ended, where they're like, yeah, and the result of this, parody formed a military, and they became increasingly more imperial. I don't know if imperialist, but a lot
Yeah.
more aggressive
Mhm.
in their military stance. And then it just ends with our main characters on a peace delegation who are yeah, we're not sure if we're gonna return alive from this. And then you don't hear anything else about that ever again. And then you just see that time lapse of things.
Yeah.
It really is left up to your imagination of oh, they could have brokered a peace agreement then. But
They
even
could have
then,
all died right
they could have all
there.
died right there.
None of it
and, like,
lasted.
But I like to believe, I said this while we were watching the show, that at least Armin got a chance to spread the story, because that's why he's the narrator of Attack on Titan, is Armin.
Yeah.
So like I like to see the whole series now as him telling, that's his way of telling, because he's talking to somebody. I mean, he's talking to us, but like in their universe, he's talking to, I'd like to believe, those people and telling them the story of how this all happened.
And Annie's grandchildren.
And I'm not sure if he's the narrator in the manga. I haven't read that far back, but him and Annie, that's another thing. They kind of like shipped people, but it didn't throw it in. You just assume, since they developed a relationship during the show, that like they must have done something together.
Because one he got with Annie because he still had like Bertolt's memories of like he was in love with Annie because Bertolt was in love with Annie.
Yeah. But I think through that he also fell in love with Annie.
Yeah,
himself,
I think
too.
him visiting her while she was frozen.
I think the Bertolt in him is what got him to go visit Annie, and then
was
he
visiting
fell
her
in love
because
with
of
her.
Bertolt. Yeah.
We had Bertolt by then?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, but it's implied that like, they probably got together. Not that I care about the ships, but it's like, the show kind of bases itself around one. Like Eren and Mikasa don't end up together. So,
Right. And it also kind of implies Mikasa didn't date anyone else, get with anyone else. I mean, you can assume that maybe she did eventually, but it just shows her laying on Eren's grave, and then I'm assuming her dead body.
yeah,
like,
I mean, it looks like an old woman's dead body.
right? That like almost implying like she just laid there forever, which like I don't think she did. I think she did live out the rest of her
Right,
life.
yeah.
But I
Probably
don't
with
think she
Jean.
did find anyone else, because that was Eren's like final wish,
Yeah.
was that she did, and she was like, I can't.
Yeah. Killing you was enough.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
I did like, I was like, when she cut his head off and then she like kissed him, I'm like, is she kissing his severed head right then? And then they made it very clear that like, yeah, she is like just like kissing and coddling his severed head, and then like gives it to Armin, and Armin's like holding his severed head, and I'm like, that's pretty hardcore.
yeah, right.
But it's a deep moment. I mean, it's their best friend that they did all this for.
Ain't nothing compared to what they've already done.
Yeah.
Right.
But they didn't kiss their dead heads.
I also have to say I love the moment of when she does cut his head off, because it's almost like a peaceful scene.
Yeah.
Where it's not like
They
a
do it
typical,
slow, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a typical anime like final boss finishing move where it's like super bombastic. Like there's no audio. Like it like almost looks like she just slices through him like butter. Like it's almost gentle.
What I think is
Looking.
because, like, Eren wanted this.
Yeah, I was gonna say
This is what the timeline he's been looking at forever.
He knew it had to be her, and she did it.
Why was he in the mouth?
I think it's because if you go down the throat of the mouth, you're in the nape. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why not be in the nape?
I have no idea.
Waddles.
It's
Joe's bad.
It's just so big that it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in a different spot.
yeah, it's fine. And it
Kinda
was just
ruins it.
his head hanging there. Rest of him could be up in the nape. Who's to say what was going on with Eren's body at that point in time? Yeah. I mean, overall, Attack on Titan, great characters, great. Eren Yeager as a character in general, his whole arc, everything he goes through. Yay? Nay? Totally
Very
yay.
good. I mean, you definitely don't see that in an anime
Typically.
protagonist,
No.
like almost
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Like this last episode, I like Eren.
Yeah.
Before I was like, this guy's just being an asshole.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you're like, no, he's got a point of being an
They did
asshole.
a Snape type of
Yeah.
thing with him where you realize the bad shit he's been doing
And
is
even then,
actually good
it
all
still
along.
like doesn't redeem him at the end. Like they make it very clear, like he's a monster
Yeah.
because he destroyed 80% of humanity.
Even Armin's just like, you're my best friend, you did this for me, but fuck.
Yeah.
you
dude.
suck. Yeah.
Why?
He's
But
like,
like you understand why he did what he did,
Yeah.
and you kind of recognize him as like a tragic character.
One of my favorite lines is calling him a slave to freedom.
Yeah.
His whole life is just trying to be free, and
Yeah.
everything is freedom, and he's a slave to it. I was like, oh, that's a sick burn.
It is.
It's a sick burn. That leaves a mark. It left a mark so hard that he was just like, you know what, Armin, you said that, and you are right. Ouch, man. Words hurt. Dude.
what a show.
What a show.
Yeah. It's one of those, like he's a tragic character, and like that drives it home. Like the further he fights for, like the harder he fights for his goal, the further away he will become from it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
Great writing.
Great writing. Great writing. And that's the thing, when the manga came out and the chapters got released and people hated it, the guy who wrote it got really upset. That's why he added like pages, because he was just trying to do anything. Like He has apologized for it. Yeah, this guy that created a fucking masterpiece, and I hope he's hearing how much people love the anime's ending. Because, damn, did he get like shit on? Because people did treat him like the end of Game of Thrones, and he felt awful about it, and it was good. So it's like, fuck.
Yeah, like he doesn't even know why. He's
No.
just like, what did I do wrong? Like, what did you
Right.
want?
He's just like, this is kind of what the series was driving towards the whole time. Like, there's nothing about the ending of the series that doesn't make sense or like doesn't feel like a logical conclusion to me.
Me too. Me
Like,
too. That's how I felt this whole time.
Like, were people expecting the rest of the world to be like resurrected? Like, no, they died. We're moving on.
That or they, the Marlians and the Eldians solve their problems through diplomacy and friendship. And
That's so boring.
I was just like, that's the thing. That's a way less interesting ending.
Yeah.
We got the rumbling.
Dude.
Shit was dark and awesome.
And it followed through. It wasn't like, oh, we got the rumbling, but we managed to save most people. It's like, no, we got the rumbling and we managed to stop it, but we still mostly failed. Like,
all the people that are left are over there hanging off the side of that cliff. So we were right on time.
And there's one baby.
one baby
It's
lives.
hanging by on the seat of his fucking diaper, man. Holy
That
fuck.
baby scene did give me anxiety, where I was just like, this is really dark.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to see
I
this
said
baby
this last
fall
night.
into the seaside, but I definitely feel like that's where it's going.
Yeah.
I wanted it to happen.
You'd believe that it would.
I was
we know you wanted it to happen.
Yeah, you're right. No, but I'm like, oh, dude, I like the darkness of the show is just too good. And you always kind of think of like, how worse can it get? And I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna kill a baby. Like this is.
I mean, because in the episode before that, you see like kids get fucking trampled. So like,
the little
Yeah,
kid that
that's
like
the thing.
beef or
Like, a
whatever.
lot of babies did die. Like, we just didn't see it, but like 80% of the population, that's a lot of babies dying.
yeah.
Oh, man, great show.
Great show.
Great show.
Great show.
Great writing.
Great show.
Genocide.
Impeccable. Impeccable.
Awesome.
Speaks to something deep in me that I don't think I want people to know.
And they're planting trees at the end. I was like, oh yeah, I guess all vegetation is fucked. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the entire planet is just.
A titan is scorching the earth with every
Oh my
step.
god.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot that the ending gives that you will think about for days to come and
Can we
weeks.
just say, how efficient is the rumbling?
Yeah, right?
I mean, it wasn't going on for like terribly long, and it managed to wipe out that many people in that amount of time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Essentially destroyed the planet.
Right.
Destroyed every piece of architecture. Just
Well, I liked how they showed that too in the final episode because it's showing like the colossals and their like blank faces as they're walking.
yeah.
And it's showing like it's like their memory of what they've done up to this fucking hill point. So that was pretty cool, just seeing them and like all the cultures around the world like praying for it to stop. That was pretty sick.
I will say, let's get into some English teacher stuff.
Whoop.
Do we think the
Ew.
Titans represent nuclear weapons?
Yes.
No.
Ooh,
Why?
let's talk.
All right. I mean, I guess it's one of these things where it's fun to connect these fictional amazing storylines to like current events or like your realistic issues, but I always don't think it's like a parallel. Like that's what they're intending.
Right.
So I think it just becomes like that.
I agree with that. I don't think it's directly trying to imply that these are nuclear weapons, or like it's supposed to be like a one-to-one thing. Like, I definitely think there's a lot of homages to it, like with the Colossal Titan's transformation. Like,
Right.
that essentially looks like an atom bomb going off.
Which is a super OP power too.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But like, I don't think it's meant to be like 100% allegory, because it's just like with Tolkien. Like, Tolkien is famous for saying that like he doesn't really like allegories, and like people always try and find allegorical things in his works and say like, oh, like the Lord of the Rings is about World War II, and like there's these are the Allies, and like Sauron's like the Axis powers and all that. But it's not about that. Like, it's not supposed
We're
to
the
be
Axis powers.
like one-to-one. People even said like, oh, like the Ents are America, because the Ents were like, didn't want to get involved at first, but then like they were attacked, and so they became involved, and they're really powerful, but they don't have like a great democracy and stuff like that. And I'm like, but no, it's like they're not supposed to be that. Like, they're the Ents are the Ents, and like you
chilling.
can try and find as many real world comparisons, but he just wasn't really writing it that way. He might have like found inspiration from real world events, but like it's not meant to be allegorical.
Right. I think World War II has a huge part in this whole series. Because even like the German names, a lot of the Eldians
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of homages
Yeah,
to
yeah.
World War
get a little
II.
weird with that.
We even just like Japan, like parody as like an island
Right.
nation. Like they're an island nation that's isolated. Like a little bit of like I don't think it's supposed to be Japan. I just think it might be
I've always thought of it as Japan.
slightly inspired because in parody they're like on the defense all the time and they can't really go. But if we're comparing it to World War II, Japan was famously not on the defense a lot until the Americans got involved. They were Imperial Japan.
Oh yeah.
They invaded a fuck ton of people, but
And we're not saying that they do that now.
no.
Yeah. Should we do a sponsor ad?
No.
Well, that's the thing.
Go break,
I
go
don't think I don't think there's supposed to be a 1-to-1 type thing. But I definitely think like the treatment of Marlians or the Marlians' treatment of Eldians is supposed to be reminiscent of like the Holocaust, especially with like the armbands.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
and the ghettos. Like it's just like they
And the ghettos, yeah.
Oh
it's
yeah,
like-
the armbands are like
Yeah.
yeah. They're not subtle with
I'm
that.
surprised they just didn't tattoo them.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
Probably thought that was a little too close to home.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely a show that's saying something, but
But original question:
telling its own story.
Do you think like nuclear weapons?
I mean, see, you guys' no's were essentially just a yes, but you fucking turn it into a... So my yes is the same as what you guys said about the no. You're
Wow,
like, yeah,
lame.
they are, but they're not.
What
Yeah,
a lame opinion.
that's what I'm saying too.
Right.
You guys said no, but just explained yes. So,
I just don't think it
Sure.
is.
But, you
Like,
know,
not specifically.
you think it
nuclear
draws
weapons.
from it, though.
I definitely think it draws from it.
Yeah.
It draws from war.
Which to me is enough to say, yep, at least to answer the question with a yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Gotta think deeper. It's an English teacher.
Well, I thought deeper. I
There's
just answered
more-
it with yes.
There's steps
those
to
are pretty
this.
deep. Those
Yeah.
are pretty deep answers. I was satisfied with them. I'd give you an A.
No. Wow. That's the first English A I would ever have. I was bad at English.
You don't say. Okay, well, I mean, if that could be our Attack on Titan talk, then I think we covered all. I mean, we could probably talk a whole episode just about everything Attack on
Yeah.
Titan.
Yeah.
But
A lot of moments in there.
not going to do that.
Decent
Today.
show.
Great show.
Decent
Great show.
Would you say your favorite anime, Swag? Not mine, but
How many anime have you watched?
quite a few at this point.
Not
But
a lot.
not a lot, but no.
Just like a lot of the big ones, I would say.
Yeah.
It's like 3 maybe.
Have you seen Naruto?
No, I refuse.
He's watched Full Metal Alchemist, and he's watched Death Note, and now he's watched Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Okay,
those
so-
are all
and
solid,
One Punch Man.
One Punch Man was his first.
Oh, that's an interesting first one because that
That's what I
one
said last
parodies like all other animes.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was fun. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
I love
that
One
one's
Punch
pretty
Man.
good.
But
Yeah.
then I watched Attack on Titan. I'm like, wow, these things can be dark. Cool.
Yeah. You see the versatility of the genre.
It did really throw me for a loop because I came from watching Attack on Titan after watching Full Metal Alchemist, and that I thought was just like super silly.
Yeah.
You know,
Good, though.
all the animations,
Solid, but silly.
solid, but all the animations, I'm like, oh, okay, you know.
But that makes sense. Like Full Metal Alchemist and Death Note are like two solid animes that are like ones that you typically want people who are just getting anime to watch first.
Mm-hmm. Show them that it's quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Attack on Titan, I think, is also one of those ones.
Oh yeah, I would agree. Like those, it's one of those ones that can hook people really quick
Hook
onto the
swag,
premise
like,
of like
hook, line, and sinker when
yeah,
we put it
'cause
on
it's
for
just
him.
like the mystery is so good that like it's hard to turn away from it. You're like, all right, we got to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah.
And then the action and animation is amazing
Yeah.
on top of
Yeah.
that. So it's
Yeah. But yeah. Now we're just going in circles, but you're right. No, enough said.
enough said.
Enough said.
We're not talking about it anymore.
No more.
We're never going to talk
again.
about it on this show ever again.
Never again.
If you
Get used to
or
it.
you or you even bring up Attack on Titan on any future episodes, I will fucking lose it.
We'll fucking kill you.
It'll be done.
I will throw my
I'll be
laptop.
done. The next episode, it'll just be me. I'll be Brayden's dead.
Brought up.
Brought up Attack on Titan, which I
Attack on
told
Titan.
him specifically not to do. So I wanted to discuss the state of Marvel, our thoughts on Marvel, where Marvel is, where Marvel's going. Because so this comes up from a conversation that Miranda and I had when we were rehearsing lines for the show, and we said how it feels like Marvel's in a bad place right now. But when I actually think about it, I don't really know why I feel that way. Because so I went through like all the movies and all of the shows, and there are some stinkers in there. But I'd still say most of the movies and shows are between movies that I like and movies that I really like and a couple that I love. So I'm just like, why does it feel like Marvel's in this bad place. Like, are the shows perfect? No, but are most of them, fine? Yeah. And like, I don't know where things are going, and I think that's probably an overall problem, but why it feels like they're in a bad place when, I mean, most of the movies are bad.
Right.
What the fuck, I guess, is what I'm asking.
So I think the problem is market saturation, where there's a lot more Marvel products out there on the market now at a lot like increased pace, and inevitably some aren't going to be great. And because there's more bad Marvel shows now than like we'd be used to, it makes you feel like the overall brand is affected, even though it's just because like they're having more products out there to judge. Because I think people at this point tend to look back on like old Marvel with rose-colored glasses, but like Phase 2, a lot of the movies in there weren't great. Like Thor: The Dark World, fucking other ones.
Tell me what other ones. A lot of people don't like Iron Man 3 as much.
Iron Man
I don't think
3,
that
I would
one's
say
really bad.
Yeah, people don't really like Iron Man. Like there were some clunkers in Marvel's past as well too, but that didn't affect people's overall opinion. I will say this phase is a lot more chaotic and feels less planned than the previous phases, just because the previous three phases had like a clear goal to work towards, and this one, it feels like there's a lot of separate stories that aren't interwoven as well, but they're trying to interweave them, but they're not doing as good of a job.
Mm-hmm.
And so it feels a bit messier, but overall there's still a lot of good products that they're putting out, and I definitely don't think Marvel is close to like a brand collapse or anything that like some people may be predicting that like the superhero era is going to finally come to a close and Marvel's going to be knocked off of their pedestal. Like all it takes is for them to release
a couple good ones
and people are going to be back on it again.
Yeah, slow it down, add some more. So yeah, I'd agree. It probably has more to do with the amount as opposed to the quality.
Because I feel the same way about Star Wars. We're like, I don't think Star Wars is in a bad position in any place at all, but you would definitely feel that if you went online.
Yeah.
And that's because there are some really bad Star Wars products that were released that, people didn't enjoy, and that's fresh in people's memories, and there's a lot more of them to think about.
Yeah.
And it also didn't help that some of them released around the same time and weren't good.
Yeah, that's fair.
But like, I also had one of my most favorite pieces of Star Wars ever to come out.
Yeah.
Not so recently with Andor. And so like, I can't say it's in a bad spot. It's just there's a lot more of it now, so there's a lot more to criticize.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Any thoughts on any of this, Swag?
No.
Okay.
Well, actually,
That's the show.
I just don't consider myself a Marvel fanboy. Where if I see that a Marvel show is like not getting good reviews, I'm just like, all right, not gonna care about that. What's the one with Samuel L. Jackson, his show?
Secret Invasion.
Yeah, I didn't really hear great things about that, so I'm like, I'm not gonna waste my time watching that.
That was one that like started really good, but then became a stinker by the end.
Do you know how much
Which stinks
those episodes cost?
a lot.
It's like $25 million an episode or something crazy.
Not the budget of your average Nerd Shit in the Dark
They had a
episode.
huge budget,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, where did the budget go?
Yeah.
Like, from what I've saw, like, I haven't seen Secret Invasion, but from the scenes I've seen, it doesn't look great.
It's not like it's horrible, but there's just not a lot to use visual effect on, so...
Well, I think another big issue is, this is another component to why people might be thinking Marvel is falling off, is because the VFX fatigue.
Sure, yeah.
Like, it's well known at this point that, like, Marvel overworks the shit out of their VFX artists because there's way more of it that needs done now, and there's
Just watch one of their movies.
Yeah, there's like way bigger crunch time
not now,
for them
though.
now, and I don't think there's a ton of them, and so they're working really long hours. I don't think they get great pay for the amount of work that they put in and for how integral they are, and so like you can tell the burnout is setting in with them, especially with like She-Hulk and stuff. Like you could see like some of the VFX were not great. And, like,
Yeah.
a lot, like if you compare like the VFX to a lot of like modern Marvel to like Iron Man 1, for example,
Mm-hmm.
you would be like, how is this movie nearly 15 years older than this stuff, but it looks better?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's because those VFX artists weren't.
There's
overworked.
burnout from the inside out.
Yeah.
It's affecting everybody.
Yeah. And so you can tell that's affecting things.
Oh, and if we're talking, if people online are always talking about the state of Marvel not being great, they're comparing it to the previous phases of Marvel, where in the previous phases there weren't a lot of TV shows. So like everything before Endgame, like there was no TV shows. Yeah, there's no TV shows. So now we're getting them in, like we're getting microdosed. And I think that's a good point of the saturation of content.
Yeah.
We're getting microdosed with like mid TV, like She-Hulk. Not that I saw it, I'll be honest. But
I saw most of it and it fucking sucked.
Yeah, so I'm not going to watch it because people say it sucks. So,
right.
And I'm a normie, so.
Right. You don't try to make your own opinions.
Yeah.
Maybe you like something.
I don't think She-Hulk is as bad as some people on the internet would make you believe, but I don't think it's a great show.
This podcast turned me off the She-Hulk.
Yeah.
You guys talked about
I'm still not.
We're positive about it.
I'm still not like a fan of She-Hulk.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah. We did shit on it.
I don't think it's the worst thing Marvel's put out.
It's the only Marvel product I haven't finished. If that says anything.
Yeah.
The only one.
And even Braden had bring in they broke the fourth wall a lot in the last episodes. So you're like,
they do it a lot throughout the show, but they vaporized the fourth wall by the end.
And to be fair,
more than broken. You can't even fix it.
I don't think they did it well, but to be fair, that is what She-Hulk is like in the comics. She is like a fourth wall breaking character a lot. Like that's kind of her thing, is like the Hulk breaks walls and like the She-Hulk breaks the fourth wall. Kind of thing.
Interesting.
I'm not
Deadpool
like
just
super
does it better in the movies.
I'm not super familiar with her as like a comic book character, but from people who have read the comics, they said like, no, that's accurate to the comic book character. I just don't think it was executed very well.
It's hard to execute that, I think, too.
Yeah, well, especially because like it's been done a ton of times now at this point. Like Deadpool kind of popularized that amount of humor, and then like they did it a bunch in other movies. And I think people are kind of sick of it now at this point, so it didn't work as well, even though it wasn't going against, like they weren't like completely shooting outside the realm of possibility for this character of like that's something she would do.
Yeah. And I didn't hate the actor, and I don't know, I just didn't like the show. It was not entertaining me, and then it went in just weird directions.
Yeah. And I would also say, if we're still talking about the state of Marvel and everything, and just like certain things, like I don't think Wakanda Forever was amazing.
Get out.
Racist.
He's fired from the show. Definitely a racist.
Well, no, I just think like the hole that Chadwick Boseman left was very apparent in that production, and like it was like a beautiful like memorial to him and everything. But I don't think whoever the actress for Shuri, what's her name? I don't know.
Don't know.
I don't think she carries the movie as well as he did. Like, you could definitely tell where they had to make script changes because he was originally supposed to be the lead of this movie. And so it just didn't blow me away. Is all I'm saying. Stop looking at me like that.
Bigot.
Racist. Well, you liked it, though. You didn't even like it?
I was neutral. I didn't hate it.
You liked it.
I liked it a lot.
I haven't seen it.
I had a really good time with it.
I really want to watch because I'd really enjoyed
I
the first
didn't see it in
Panther.
theaters. That might have something to do with it. But
I don't know. I mean, I did see it in theaters, but I just think the movie was solid. We Miranda cried a couple times. Like it was emotional. Wow. It was pretty solid. I really, especially because it came out during this like very average. Like we were getting a lot of average Marvel movies, and then this one came out, and I was like, all right, that was fucking good. I don't know. So I guess that one's up in the air if people liked it as much or not. But I still think it was a good movie.
I don't think it was a bad movie.
Was it better or worse than the first Black Panther?
Well, I like the first Black Panther more.
See, and I think I like the second Black Panther more.
I think that's an unpopular opinion, right? Like a lot of people really like the second one because the first one, Marvel fans liked it, but they still shit on it, like the quality of the CGI and stuff.
I make fun of it.
Right, yeah.
Like to me, that was the one that I was like, I am not getting the big deal here. Whereas with this one, I'm like, that was solid. But that's just one of the movies.
Yeah. What other movies came out?
Well, we got Shang-Chi, which I liked.
Shang-Chi was great.
Guardians
3 was great.
Guardians 3 was pretty fucking good.
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man,
might be my favorite Guardians movie.
No Way Home is in there. That's a fucking awesome movie.
That's been years now, right?
Yeah, but I mean, that's in there.
Yeah,
solid.
Phase 4.
We really like Doctor Strange, too. The only ones that didn't live up to expectation for me were Thor 4, Love and Thunder. And it's not that it's bad. It's just it didn't work for me.
Same. I feel like they didn't know what it wanted to be.
Yeah.
I watched it and I have no memory of it. Like I watched a movie.
Yeah.
I was on a flight. I'm like, it was a movie.
Yeah.
Because tonally it was supposed to be sadder, and like the tone wasn't the only issue with the movie.
Yeah.
But like tonally it was supposed to be sadder because it's about like Jane had stage 4 cancer.
Right.
And like spoilers for Thor: Love and Thunder, but she dies in this movie. But like they still try to like have like the humor of Ragnarok in it,
Yeah.
which like just doesn't really work that well when you're dealing with such heavy content.
Yeah.
Love Ragnarok.
Like she makes a joke about like, oh, stage 4, how many stages could there be? And they're like 4. Like yeah, it's a funny joke, but it's still like, do we have to have this like Josh Whedon quippiness in like a scene about a character dying of terminal cancer?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. So like that one had a lot of problems like that I felt throughout it. So to me, that's one of the stinkers, but still not a bad movie. Like there are worse movies than Thor: Love and Thunder.
Have you seen Ant-Man 3?
Yes.
What do you think?
I thought it was fine. I thought
That's
it was
what I
fine.
heard about it. I've always thought that
Don't think it's a
about-
bad movie.
I've always thought that about any Ant-Man movie.
Yeah.
Never hated them. Always thought they were just fine. Was never
It
blown
follows
away by
the
them.
trend. If anything, it adds a little bit more interesting stuff, and that's about it.
Yeah.
That was one you could see where the VFX kind of became a problem, but it also helped that it was in a world that you can get away
Looked
with it.
goofy
if they're in
anyways.
yeah, exactly. So
Are you saying VFX?
VFX.
Virtual effects.
Yeah.
Got it. I was like, what is this acronym?
yeah, visual effect.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but that's really it. Those are the only couple that I can name that were stinkers, and the Ant-Man's not even a stinker. That one's also just fine. So it's weird. I don't know. If they were just movies right now, I don't think it would be as noticeable of a thing. And I say that also liking most of the shows. So it's probably just that there is a lot of it.
I still need to see some of the shows.
Sure. Loki's, and that's what I really want to get is,
I hear season 2.
the overall connecting story that's going on that I think is also a problem is that nobody knows what it is right now. Is that Loki, season 1 and 2, are the only things that are even remotely discussing what's going on with the connected tissue of these stories.
Well, I think that was another issue is that like the multiverse was introduced very clunkily as a concept into the Marvel universe in Phase 4, in my opinion, because there's like 3 different properties that like introduce the multiverse in different ways where you're like, oh, is this where they bring like the full multiverse in? Because at first you think it's Loki because they go through that whole Kang thing where like they kill him and then like the timelines diverge and you're like, oh, this is where the multiverse is coming in. Then like you don't hear anything about it, and then like Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness comes out and you're like, this is where the multiverse is like fully coming in. But no, like you see the multiverse, but it's not like the catalyst that brings the multiverse like crashing down.
Yeah. And then
like
Spider-Man kind of shows it.
Spider-Man No Way Home, you're like, okay, this for sure has to be because Doctor Strange is fucking with the multiverse and bringing actual people from the multiverse in. And you do get that, but then it's solved at the end. And, you know, you're just like, okay, so that wasn't it. So now we're getting back around to Loki season 2, which I haven't seen any of season 2, but I'm assuming they're touching upon the multiverse stuff again from season 1.
Definitely. Yep.
And so I'm guessing that's
They're doing
where
a
it's
really
actually
fun,
gonna
cool
happen,
job with it.
where like the multiverse actually comes in, where like they can finally introduce like the X-Men and Deadpool and all these other
I'll say
properties
this,
coming
man.
in.
Kang is the main bad guy in Ant-Man the new Ant-Man movie, and you're getting more stuff about Kang in Loki season 2.
Like his development almost.
Way more than you got out of him in Ant-Man, for sure. You're getting his backstory essentially. Whereas in Ant-Man, he really just feels like the villain of that movie. By the end of Ant-Man, it was like, oh, okay.
Well, and I would be fine with that.
But he's
if
not.
They fully
He's
committed-
Thanos.
If they fully committed to the concept, which I hope they still eventually do, but like end of Loki season 1 where Kang explained that like this is only one version of him and there's infinite versions of him and they're all dangerous and they can all like cause problems and stuff. Like I would be fine like if in other Marvel properties they're fighting versions of Kang and like in Ant-Man that was just like one version of him and like that's what kind of solidifies him as like this new Thanos level threat where like he's an enemy that they can't like fully beat down because they'll
that
beat
could be
one
the
of-
direction they're going with.
Yeah, 'cause they'll
and we'll
beat
look
one
back
of
on
him.
Ant-Man and see it that way,
and then another one pops up who's even more powerful.
which they should. And I mean,
Right.
but they need to start doing that more now. They need to because they haven't done it at all really yet at all. So
Right.
hopefully they start leaning into shit like that.
Yeah,
Right,
kind
I
of-
was hoping they would execute that more.
Ant-Man
at this
3 ends
point.
with like you get to see a ton of the Kang variants.
But that's the reason for the negative, like, reactions to this current era of Marvel, because I think that the fan base wants something in particular, like now that we have the multiverse, it's like, oh, we can bring in the X-Men, we can bring in Deadpool. Like it is Kang. So now all the nerds are like, oh, sorry, not nerds,
Chitters.
all are like being like, all right, this timeline has to go like this direction, and like that's what they're developing. But Marvel's either not ready for it or that's not their direction. So either way, like it's just people are going to be unhappy with it because you're at this right now. Like we should be getting there, but we're not. So that's why we're talking about it. But then you have other people who are like, if it doesn't go there, they're still going to be very upset about it.
Yeah,
right.
So I think it's ultimately the fan base being like, the expectations are just
You saying that
way
the
too
fans
far.
of things could be the bane of those very things' existence?
That's never happened before.
Yeah, I don't
Has
think
it
that's
not?
true. I think fans make things better.
Yeah, all the time.
All the time.
They should let fans write the scripts.
Hmm.
'Cause
Fans,
then it'd be good.
fans are probably intelligent enough to do that.
Probably.
People
They
that are
always have great
professionals.
ideas.
Yeah, people that don't actually do the thing but think that they should do it.
Right.
Yeah,
They're the ones to put in charge of things.
you're right. Thanks, Swag.
yeah, no problem. I think I just solved it.
You really did. Okay, Marvel's fine.
Marvel's, we're good.
We're
We're
good
good.
now. We're good now. Yeah. I don't know. We got the Marvels actually comes out this week.
I'm excited for that.
I want to see it, so
Yeah.
maybe they could do something with that.
What is that?
It's the new Captain Marvel movie.
Oh,
But
never seen it.
it's got Captain Marvel, but it's also got the girl from Miss Marvel and the one girl that was in WandaVision that was friends with Captain Marvel. It's like her daughter. Oh wait,
Kamala-
you didn't see the movie. Never mind.
Kamala Khan,
Right. And Monica Rambeau.
Monica Rambeau, yeah.
And it looks interesting. And it's the shortest Marvel movie. It's only an hour and 40 something minutes.
Which I'm excited for.
Yeah.
I like a good, quick movie.
Yeah. You want to go see it Thursday?
Sure.
Well, the chick movie gets 77% of the time. Look at that.
Could be another thing we talk about on our podcast.
Probably won't make as much money either.
No.
Yeah.
Our podcast, Nerd Shit in the
Nerd
Dark.
shit in the dark. Yeah. That would be fun. If it's good though. And yeah, maybe we see
If
this
it's
movie
good,
and we
if it's
got to
not
come
good, we
back to
just
this
won't-
very
yeah.
conversation and be like, well, look what they did in that added to it.
Right.
I think they're planning on slowing things down. I heard that Bob Iger came back and was like, yo, slow it down. Let's cut time. Because Kevin Feige is why things worked. And now he's doing a million things at once. And he
Yeah.
doesn't have time.
He is overwhelmed.
So, yeah, just burnout
Oh, it's less
everywhere.
content being pushed out.
See, there's more content, but he's involved in less of it. So if they lessen the content,
Yeah.
you can get back
I
to
agree.
sailing the ship correctly.
Because I think if ultimately we're just putting out like 6 episodes of like a fun show, that's not going to be like included in the entire universe of it, just there. Like what's the point of it?
Yeah.
Right.
Or even if you do, just every once in a while, you can kind of see things slow down. Because like She-Hulk came out at the end of last year. That was near like the end of a long run of like boom, 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 boom.
Right.
But then there was nothing new Marvel-wise, a TV show, I don't think, from that point till
I think they started
Nick
to
Fury
realize
till Invasion in June.
people were getting burned down on it. Like,
Yeah. And
it's too much.
I'm glad they solved it quick.
Yeah. And it kind of, Kevin Feige being overextended, it makes a lot of sense why there's such varying degrees of quality with like the products that they're
And
putting out.
storyline overall.
Yeah, because you're like, you can tell this was like bureaucratized. I don't know if that's a word or not.
We'll
but
use
like,
it.
I'll accept it.
All words are made up.
It's like there was a lot of delegation going on here where it wasn't like Feige behind it. It was like other people. And that's why like they're starting to vary a lot more with their quality.
Fair enough. I just thought that was something to talk about, something
Yeah.
to think about. Because I love Marvel, love
Good thing to
these
touch
movies,
upon.
love what they've done. They've built an empire, and I hate to see empires crumble
That we love
that we
empires.
love.
The empire that the mouse bought.
Yeah, it's fine though. I want to see more good, and I just hope we're kind of back on track. If I hate something and I see that nobody likes it, I'm on board. When I like something, it's sad, and I don't like to be sad, guys.
So like all the things that you like.
I try to. If you watch this podcast, you know I like things that some people fucking hate a lot. So,
That's true.
yeah, try my best. Oh, yeah. All right. Well then, cool.
There we go.
That's it then. That's our Marvel talk. That's our Attack on Titan talk. That is our nerd shit in the dark, I do believe. Wanted to keep it a little crisp. I still think we got quite a long episode
Quite a
on our
historic
heels, but-
episode.
quite a historic episode. We had the original shitter Swag.
Oh yeah, man.
How was your first time on the show?
Oh, definitely more anxious in the beginning, where I pop in and out. But
Mhm.
it was really good. I
You-
really enjoyed.
You found comfortability.
Yeah, I mean, and especially in conversations where we have to like think of like actually making conversation, not little quick wits that we do, to make fun of each other.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
actually
It comes quicker
talking
than
to
you'd
each other.
expect.
Yeah, you
It
kind of
comes naturally.
you just
Yeah.
like eventually settle in. You're like, oh, okay,
Yeah, this stuff, friends talk.
this podcast thing's pretty cool. Good for you guys.
It is fun. It is. We've been having, like I said, I've really gotten into it. Would you be a guest again sometime, maybe?
I think so, and I think I would like to watch an anime that you guys haven't watched before that.
Ooh, we
that
So I
would
could
be
really
interesting.
bring new nerd shit.
Yeah, that will be fun.
It would be about baseball.
That would be fun.
Yep.
I bet you there is a base. There's a lot of sports
There's lots
ones.
of baseball.
There's a lot of
I
sports
already know.
anime.
Quite a bit.
Maybe don't watch a baseball one, but
There's a
Oh, I heard
volleyball
there's
one.
pretty good ones.
I think there is a
Volleyball,
good
no.
baseball. I've watched the volleyball one. It's actually one of the the soccer
Yeah.
one right now is like I hear a lot about. So
Ooh, sports
There's a
animes.
tennis one.
there's
I
a lot
know.
of sports animes that I hear they're pretty good. Hajime no Ippo, that's the boxing one. That one's like really popular.
It's like a classic.
Yeah. So there you go. So there's a
Love
whole
to-
world out there for
Love
you.
to be a guest again.
Yeah, we'll make it happen again.
Yeah,
I'll always
for
be an
sure.
audience member.
Yeah, maybe every time that we visit, we could set up a
Oh yeah.
podcast section.
Yeah.
Maybe by the next time I see you, I have more mics, and
When the kid falls asleep, we're like, all right, grab a mic.
I'm not. We're gonna get a babysitter for the kid that weekend.
Before it wakes up, we'll
Figure.
start talking.
We'll figure it all out. All right. Well, I'm going to say a couple things before we leave.
Go for it.
Just the cliche end of podcast thing. So we're Nerd Shit in the Dark. We're on Spotify and Apple Podcast. We have an Instagram, Nerd Shit in the Dark, at Nerd Shit in the Dark. We are on YouTube, Nerd Shit all one word, entertainment. If you'd like to email the show, give us some stuff to check out, because I'd like to do that. If people gave us like things to check out,
I would love that.
if I got an email of somebody who was like, try this, I'd fucking do it. So that's
yeah.
nerdshitinthedark@gmail.com. And I think that's everything on that little aspect. Like us and follow us.
Smash that like button.
Yes.
Smash that like button.
button.
Braden?
Subscribe to our Patreon
We'll get there.
once we get one.
We got a Twitch now. I forgot
Yep.
about that one.
Oh yeah.
Trying to do stuff with that. I might plug my computer into the internet and see if we can stream Baldur's Gate a little better next time. So,
Yeah. When are we doing Baldur's Gate 3 again?
It's on Twitch. It's scheduled.
oh, yeah, we're supposed to be playing it in about an hour. But we're not. So, I don't know. I mean, we should play soon, though. But we'll talk about that off the air. Anything you want to say to the shitters before we go?
I love you, shitters.
He always has.
I always have.
He always will.
Well, maybe.
Yeah. There are conditions. You wouldn't execute 80% of the planet
Yeah, if
for
they
the
were like,
shitters.
do you love us so much that you would execute 80% of the planet for us?
Yeah.
I'd probably say no.
Fair. That's fair. All right. Well, thanks for coming on the show, Swag. And
Thank you.
you're very welcome. I'd love to do it again. So,
Yep.
Good night. Sleep
Good night.
tight. Don't let them
the
shit bugs bite.
Shit bugs bite.